All right, let's call the Town of Wappinger Planning Board meeting in order. All rise for the pledge of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The secretary, call the attendance, please.
Mr. Marinaccio?
Here.
Mr. Bogradi?
Here.
Mr. Saru?
Here.
Mr. Marino?
Here.
Mr. Baraticos?
Here.
Mr. Flower?
Here. Okay. All the board members have received the minutes from the November 4th meeting. If there's no comments or concerns with those minutes, get a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved. Second. Okay.
Okay, motion's made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, our first item on the agenda this evening is Wappinger Farm Estates subdivision. Yeah, the microphone for you.
Mark Day, Dane Secoza, here representing Wappinger Farm Estates.
Okay. Yeah, so we all have
Just so they can
speakers in here.
record you.
Just so it's just recording for the camera. The
It may not be amplified, it just.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
amplified, it's just recording for the camera.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta tell that to the camera.
Okay, so obviously you got the resolution.
Yes. We generally agree with everything, we just got a couple questions, if that's okay.
Okay, because I think we have some
We have one.
questions also.
Oh.
Yeah, we have one at least, so,
And I bet it's on the same thing.
Could be.
yeah. Is it in regards to item number, where was it here? Item number 6?
Yeah, that, but I actually had one before that, if that's
Okay,
okay.
well, let's go.
Item G, there's the removal of trees in the right-of-way that may affect, some of these trees are not just in the right-of-way, some of them are actually on the properties themselves, if that's
Alright.
okay. We just don't want to limit it to the right-of-way. I think we met with Mr. Sotero
Yeah.
out there. And there's other things, there's like those concrete fence posts that were in there. They're probably not in the right-of-way. We want to take those down too, because they're just, first of all, hideous, and secondly, serve no purpose.
So we can take the words right of way out of there.
Okay.
All trees that affect site distances.
Okay.
And the
All
other
right.
thing was, the last sentence says, the excavation required to achieve site distance on 9 and 10. I don't think we had that condition. I don't think there was any excavation necessary.
Okay, I wasn't sure when we, had met out there, you thought that they may need to shave the bank a little bit, but
I don't think so. I think
No,
it,
just
yeah, we
some-
were behind it, so
just whatever,
we'll take it
just,
off if we need to.
the trees that are within,
Yeah.
all right. Well, why don't we at least, leave it in?
Leave
for
it in,
that?
that's fine.
Right,
If
so
we
then-
have to, we'll do it.
If necessary.
If
There you
If
go.
necessary by the town engineer.
And then there's this 6. that we all talked about.
Yeah, so 6,
I mean, we don't mind offering that for dedication, and I don't know what construct the rail, or the trail means. I just don't know if the DEC will allow us to construct anything.
That was
That's
basically
like
the
a
discussion
segue.
we
That's
just
a
had.
Good, that's a good segue.
So,
Yeah.
if you want to reach out to DEC and see, because we were looking at the habitat, and, the trail would be between the habitat and the stream.
Okay.
So I don't know what DEC's position would be on that.
I mean, when we met with them in the beginning, it was like, that was sacred ground, and they really weren't anticipating anything going on there. They do understand, based on creating this habitat, that the way it's done is you basically go there and you cultivate this area to create loose material, and apparently that they tend to
Lay their
go
eggs
to
in.
that, lay their eggs in that, so that's part of it. But that, as you guys could see, is actually closer to
Right.
Robinson Lane than it is to
the creek.
the creek.
Right.
So if they're willing to allow it, I don't know if they're gonna let me take heavy equipment in there. That's my, I don't know what you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so there's a couple of issues that kind of relate to this, because one, on the, I don't know what you want to call it, the south side, the side opposite the park.
Oh,
I think that's
south.
private property. Actually, one of the things we were looking at is there a road or something? There was something we were looking at that
Yeah,
showed.
it looks to be like a driveway or some kind of roadway that goes off the back of one of the parcels on
out toward
on the
creek.
adjacent, yeah, and it heads down towards the creek. Do you know what that was? Yeah, do you have, okay, that's,
There's a racetrack on there.
There used to be, yeah, a horse racetrack.
There's a circular racetrack
No,
there.
no.
yeah, no, not in that location.
It was actually on the.
Oh, this?
It was where the other residential properties,
Yeah, it
and
looked
I
like a little
forgot,
driveway coming in
Yeah.
and down.
Whole, parcel, yeah.
This.
Oh, that might be,
I don't-
I gotta look at what that is.
Yeah, that's clearly not part of our proposal. It may have been a trail that came up underneath the aerial, when they flew the aerial,
Okay.
but it's certainly not a proposal we made.
And this hatch is floodplain or?
That's actually that's the DEC line.
DEC line.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
actually, here's the one that's a DEC, so this is floodplain, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, we have no issue with the trail as long as we're just careful that, I don't know if how they're gonna let us do it and what they're gonna let
Well,
us
in
do.
order to have an informed discussion with the supervisor and the
Yeah.
town board, we seem to need to know what the DEC will allow.
Right.
Do you guys wanna meet with us and them, and you wanna, sort of
well, I think maybe, I mean, we were talking earlier, maybe it'd be better just to resolve this issue before we vote on the resolution tonight.
okay.
The other question is if you're willing to waive the 62-day requirement.
No, we'll waive it.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with that. It's just I wanna come up with a plan of how we're gonna resolve it.
Right.
If the DEC says, no, absolutely not, we're not gonna.
And
let
it's
you,"
easy.
Yeah,
Then it's over,
yeah,
right? I mean,
because I think, because that whole issue with that area in the back is, I know that the town supervisor, had asked for it during the public hearing. We did ask, for you guys to meet with, the town board to try to come up with something. By putting that in a resolution, it kind of leaves it open-ended, could be, that could be a very detrimental statement for you guys to have to fulfill down the
Right,
road. I mean,
right.
especially if the DEC puts all kinds of crazy requirements.
Because the other issue too is, right now, it's a trail from nowhere. So, we don't, if it's
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
DEC's gonna impose a lot of requirements to put a trail in there, then it may not be worth it to put a trail in there.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
right now, we don't have access, it's private property that's out there, so.
I'm just wondering, I know, we could have a conversation with them, I just don't want it to become a hearsay. Do you wanna
We
talk?
could have a meeting.
Yeah, I can try to set a conference call.
Or even a conference call.
Maybe I can try a conference call. Okay. We're not against the resolution, I'm not.
Okay.
If you guys wanna add something to it to say, construct a trail as allowed by the DEC, just so we can, I'd like to get closure
I
on it.
think we
if
need to
can-
kind of sort this out with the supervisor of town board.
Okay.
Because the other issue is, we kind of want to also get a handle on what DEC is going to be, DEC is going to require something
Yeah.
that needs to be
Okay.
quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Okay.
So I think we should probably have the discussion with DEC first.
Well, if they're not gonna let us use it either.
Well, right.
All right,
That's
right,
one.
right,
And
right.
the other
Right,
thing too is if they're going to impose such rigorous requirements that, we have to go in there once a week and, put the turtles to bed.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, yeah, come on, that's,
but
You're
that's,
getting silly now, Jim.
yeah,
So
all
my
right.
question would be,
That's like a
as far as my conversation, or just to initiate this conversation, I'm gonna ask them up front: is this something you would allow?
Right.
In
And if
terms
they come
of,
back and say no,
then there's no
ask
sense
them
in
to put
having
it in
this
back.
meeting, or this conference call. So my
Right.
question would be just, what does the town think? Is it say a 5 foot wide, like say chips, you know. like-
Yep.
Well,
So just a mulch
Yeah.
walkway?
Yeah.
that would probably be up to Dick what he's looking for, because we don't know what we want.
Well, I've seen walkways through wetlands before, and it's usually those elevated, made out of wood like a deck, you know?
Yeah, they're not
And,
going for
and they're
that.
like 5 feet wide.
No,
Yeah.
that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
no way they're going for that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
why
only
we,
thing I've ever seen over a wetland.
yeah. That's why I think,
Because that's a
it-
flood area too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to anchor.
that's why I think it's best to hash out with the town board what they're actually really looking for before we go forward. Because like I said, it just leaves it open-ended because, you know, again, if, you know, the DEC says, sure, you could do it, you know, with, you know, what was just suggested with an elevated walkway, yeah, that's, you know, quite the expense, and I know we don't want to put you in that position.
Yeah, I just.
We don't wanna have to maintain it after
Yeah.
the fact.
Right, correct, and that also, that's the other issue, is what the town's gonna be required. So,
This may be a preliminary reach out to DEC and say,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know, because there are, I mean, it's in a floodplain, it's in a wetland, and it's in protected habitat. So it's like
Yeah.
a triple whammy.
All right, so I'll ask. If the answer comes out flat out no,
Yeah, we're good.
then I guess I'll reach out and say.
Put that in the letter and,
Send it back.
Yep.
Okay, all right, we'll do that.
okay, so we'll table this one for now.
Very well.
All right. Okay, so moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is Old Hopewell Commons subdivision.
We need some lights.
Huh?
We need some lights.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We're gonna have those on tomorrow. Hello?
Okay.
You're good.
Yep, you're also, okay, so I guess basically on that, I guess you have the,
The Mylar and a print.
okay,
Yeah, why don't we just look at it quick to make sure.
you want to
that-
take a look at it real quick, just to make sure, because I know the health department did sign off today on the Mylars? Okay, all right, because I know that was one of the open-ended questions.
My notes that I had to put on about the detail of the roadway.
right.
Okay. And here's the sewer easement. And then there was some other notes, Jim, that
Just in reference to
was there, this was the one note, right here. This is the one the health department wanted? Sewer lines and sewer force main shown on plat are not offered for dedication to the town, but shall be maintained by the owners of the lot shown on the plat. Alright.
Okay,
Here's the other one they were asking for.
Lot 1 and Lot 2 are in the United Wappinger Water and Sewer Districts. Lot 2 will connect directly to the town of Wappinger sewer system. Alright. That makes sense. And then,
Let's-
25% clear sewer over Sergeant Palmer Way for the benefit of Lot 2. There's Lot, this is 1.
maybe we should put this off to the end of the meeting then?
Yeah.
You want to put this down to later? Let's put this back, and then you guys we can go over it after we get rid of the rest of the business for the evening?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay? All right, let's do that.
You want us to stay or you?
You guys can stay, yep. Yeah, that way if there's any questions, we'll review this towards the end. But we get through the rest of the agenda first, and then we'll go back. Okay, our next item on the agenda this evening is 479 All Angels Hill Road, apartment house. Good evening. You pick up the microphone so that you get recorded. Huh? I believe it's on, yep. So, obviously, why don't you go through your proposal for us? Because I guess there's a couple of questions we have. I obviously have been in front of the zoning board already. Got some zoning variances.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The original proposal that we had, as you may know, it was originally supposed to be a total 4 unit. One current existing 2-bedroom, and then we were proposing adding 3 additional apartments, which we have scaled down now to just adding 2, for a total of 3 apartments for the entire building, which was, after going through the process and kind of came to that consensus with the variance, and that was done. The septic system is basically, the new septic system to be installed, basically, going through the health department. They're just kind of waiting for us to finish this process, and they'll sign off on that current plans. And I did read the notes that was kind of brought up, and Mr. Lee had a chance to talk to you guys over the
Right.
Right. I talked with Mr. Prager about he had a note about a fire suppression system, and said it was required in the note, but what he meant is he would prefer if there were a sprinkler system in the building. It's not technically required by the building code, and that's something we'll work out in the next step, I would imagine. with the requirement.
Okay, well, be very careful with whether or not it is or it isn't required. I believe it is required under the building code.
Yeah.
Because you're changing the occupancy from one to another. But I'll let the building department make that determination, so.
And the owner would have, he might consider, some desirable effects of having that system in there, maybe insurance-wise or something, so he may decide to,
All right.
might be multiple
Makes,
things going on.
right.
The other issues, I don't know if you want to substitute any drawings or anything, there were some questions about which way the rain leaders drained, none of them drained towards the neighbors, turns out.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, so you've gotten the letter from the engineer. I mean, that was with the, for the rain leaders. The grading for the septic system, expansion fields was another concern.
Right, and that would be at some future event that maybe the expansion would have to be made, and then I would imagine, we'd have to tackle that one at that
Yeah, what we're
point.
gonna, we talked about that earlier, so as far as that, what we're gonna have you do is just put a note on the map just saying that if in the future the expansion area has to be installed, that a floodplain development permit would be required from the town.
That's reasonable.
Okay.
So I also copied the erosion control, the silt fence on this first drawing, so that, I guess you want to basically concentrate on one of the drawings, not have to look through all those other drawings.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
are you the architect?
Right.
Okay.
And so I showed that grading that Jim had shown on his plan. And the catch basin in the backyard, it's in a weird spot. It just seems like it was put in there, maybe there was a puddle there at one point. There was a previous owner, and if I had to guess, it'd be just a small dry well, probably just a hole
Right,
of
that's
gravel in it. I don't think
Yeah,
it-
that's fine.
It doesn't drain like it out the back or anything like that, for sure.
Okay.
That covers it, but if you're interested in seeing, I did make those changes.
Now, you should have gotten comments from the planner's office.
Right, the planner also had sent out an email.
David's office,
That I did not
Frederick
see.
Clark,
Okay, we sent it to Abby Josiah with an email address.
there you can have it.
So, just to go over our comments, some of the drawings say 3 apartments, some say 4. The floor plan shows 3 apartments.
The newer one should also, there might have been some old drawings that were in the office. We've been trying to weed out the old one.
Right, okay. So you should show the existing trees on the site, and are there any trees supposed to come down at all?
No, I'm not anticipating any.
Okay.
In fact, I'm not even sure there are any real measurable trees on the site that are in the, that we're in the zone that we're talking about. But, yeah, we can check that out.
Okay, if there are sizable trees, you
Right.
could show them, and then this vegetation note that we mentioned at the bottom of page 2 would be good. Is there outdoor lighting, exterior lighting?
Yes, that's what, on the building, yes, there's,
So if you could show those as well.
The location and the manufacturer, what they're gonna look like.
Right, right. Okay. Details regarding those, location and details regarding the lighting. And we talked about the floodplain before. Is there any work going on? Do you show the floodplain in your drawing?
I transposed it from the engineering, the septic drawings to this first sheet,
Okay.
so it's not a bullshit.
Any disturbance of the floodplain?
It would only be, you know, it would only be considered if there was an expansion to the septic system. There shouldn't be any grading in the initial system.
In the floodplain?
Right.
Okay.
Or-
That's pretty much our memo. You've got it now.
And
Alright.
we also asked you, or, I also asked you that if you could just contact the Dutchess County Department of Public Works, because you are increasing the number of units on the site. We just want to make sure that, the access is fine, that they're not looking for any additional improvements.
All right.
Okay. All right, so, I mean, obviously you have all the comments, everything else. Any of the board members have any questions for the applicant? No? Okay. So, I mean, at this point, huh?
Yeah, we'll make these,
Yeah, submittal for the, we'll make a new submittal with all the items that were on the letters, they get addressed and included in the next submittal. The other question would be is, we need a public hearing for this, which I guess we will.
Special permit approval and site plan approval.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we need to do.
Yeah,
We can
so
check for-
everybody's good with,
Yeah.
setting up a public hearing?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so I ask the secretary, what would be the next?
So
Of
we
it.
only have one more meeting this year, December 2nd,
Yeah,
and it jumps to Tuesday, January 7th. No, wait, I'm sorry. that's
Actually,
it would be,
Monday the 6th.
Yeah, Monday.
yeah, Monday, January 6th would be the next one. There's probably not enough time to submit for the December meeting
It's hard because of the Thanksgiving.
because of the holidays,
holiday.
correct. So probably we're looking at Monday, January the 6th. We're scheduling a public hearing. Does that work for,
Well.
we're asking the question.
These things are pretty minor changes, but yeah,
Okay,
whatever you decide, obviously.
right. So I mean, that would be the next, otherwise if it's,
Can
no?
you do it? Can you
Well-
guys get your submittal in?
I don't see why not.
Okay, so then when we schedule, so let's stay with the 6th and be done with the 6th, all right? You have to make your submittal back with all the comments and all the items addressed. So basically, we're looking to get a motion to set up a public hearing for this project for,
I'll make that
Mon-
motion.
okay?
I'll second that.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so motion carries. All right, so we'll see you again in January.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I think we can resubmit.
Yeah, so now you're gonna have to, resubmit, your plans, however many days prior to the meeting.
So if you, it's just a thought, if you both consider them minor, if you authorize a resolution and you submit before December 1st, it would give them a few weeks to review it,
Yeah.
if you would want it.
Well, for the resolution? I mean, I guess be dependent upon too is the public hearing.
Well, no, you'd have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, if people come out for the public hearing, whether or not we'd have to alter it.
There really wasn't much public participation in the variance.
In the variance.
So,
That
Okay.
was the hard part.
And that would be the first one.
I don't know. Does the board feel, do you guys feel
I don't see any reason why we can't.
to prepare the resolution?
Yeah, prepare.
Okay.
Seems
Everybody's good with
reasonable.
it? All right. All right, so somebody want to make a motion to authorize the
I'll make that
planner?
motion.
Okay,
Second.
motion's made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so motion carries. So pending the outcome of the public hearing, we'll have a resolution in hand. If you're also, if everything seems to be in order with the resolution, we can go from there. So,
Thank you.
we'll see you in January.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, our next item on the agenda this evening is the Kowalski lot line realignment.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm here just to see if I can move the property line from my mother's old homestead to my homestead, move it over,
So-
get another acre.
You are, for the record?
Timothy Kowalski,
Okay,
at 164 Old Hopewell Road.
all right, thank you. Okay, so you're looking to move the property line?
Yes,
Okay, and the property, the adjacent property is whose property?
my mother's.
Your mother's
She passed
property.
on, and my brother's the executor, and I have a seal and everything that's
Okay.
been brought in.
All right, so, all
It's a slam dunk in my books.
right, so you're just taking property from your mother's property, adding it to your
Before
property?
anybody, we're gonna put a house up for sale in the spring.
Okay.
I don't want anybody else, an investor to come in and try to put a house right behind me because they looked at the zoning, how much is needed with the septic, or if they could put a septic line. And so I said, this is a time, get my brother's permission, get that extra so nobody can put in my backyard.
Okay. All right, so, I guess at this point,
I have no questions.
if nobody's got any questions, right? Or do they? No? Okay. I guess their first order would be is, we can go ahead and waive the public hearing, if everybody feels so.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Waive it.
So make a motion to waive the
I'll make
public
the
hearing?
motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's made second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that's out of the way. And being that this is a minor, just a lot line realignment, we'll go ahead and we'll authorize, we need a motion to authorize the planner to write a resolution for the approval.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so we have a motion,
second that.
made seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that motion carries. So basically what we do is we're gonna go ahead and have the planner authorize, or we authorize the planner to write the resolution for approval, based upon it's just a minor, movement of the lot
Yeah, no
lines.
problem.
There's really, nothing's changing. It's just going through the process. Once he's got the resolution to us, it'll probably be for the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay, so at the next meeting, then we can go ahead. Prior to the meeting, you'll have the resolution, you can review it. If you have any questions, we can discuss them prior.
Reach out to B and ask her.
Okay.
Last time when I first came here, I had a pamphlet like that, and I was overwhelmed. I said, what?
Yeah.
Everything for subdivisions, my bank records, and what
Yeah.
is this for just
Yeah.
a line adjustment?
Yeah,
And
so,
my concerns are too about the escrow and the planning and how much is anything coming back to me, because there's
Okay.
really not much done to it.
I'm assuming, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, once we get done, we'll know better after everything's been, pretty much done and,
Because I did run to the Board of Health too earlier, because I thought that was part of the state after I saw my surveyor came down, and they said it has nothing to do with any water. nothing.
Right.
Well, as soon as you get it, bring it in here, not at lunchtime, and we'll sign it off, so.
okay. All right. So we'll see you probably at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you
All right?
very much.
You're welcome. All right. Our next item on the agenda is a conceptual review of the Hindu Samaj amended site plan for a parking lot.
Michelle, can you put that over here so that it's on camera?
It worked.
Okay. Don't give up yet.
Did you tilt that camera back there?
Huh? All right.
The drains don't go the other way, so. I am Michelle
flow
Becker,
right?
Berger
Is it up?
Engineering.
Okay.
And the proposal for this is to add another parking lot and move the driveway access. Purpose for the parking lot is just their bigger events. They've been parking in the grass, and the grass gets muddy, and the cars get stuck. So they'd like to have another parking lot for the bigger events. They're not planning on any changes inside the building.
Okay.
That would change the number of people. And then on the driveway, the current driveway is very steep, and they have trouble getting in and out of it, so they want to move it up. And since I was here a little bit before, Pete, the county code is section 4A1, like 75 feet, and that driveway's about 120 feet.
Okay, we'll check
from
it
the road.
out.
I mean, you'll double check it.
Yeah.
That's why you got to show it.
Okay,
You
so,
did
all right, so
already,
you.
obviously. Good job.
Yeah, just a little faster to go through phase 17 on the PDF. I think it's faster too.
Okay.
So that's basically what proposed. With the additional parking lot, there's 4 handicap spaces right now. There's going to be 5. They're getting moved up. Currently, they're right here. We're moving them up here instead of going up through this walkway. They're going to come across here. The existing house is now going to have a walkway.
A walkway to the, okay.
So that's what's proposed. There's going to be a lot of arrows because of the way it's going to be a one-way in and going around, so we're going to have lots of arrows and signs.
Okay, so the new circulation, they would go in, go up through the center one, and then return back towards the main entrance, back through the other 2 outside lots.
Yes.
Or, grouping of parking spaces.
And then they aren't on your prints, but they have some lights, just to, full lights, and I'll
Yeah.
realize you need more information on them.
So,
Like,
in
they're so
the,
far interior that they're not gonna.
so on the full submission, you'll have all the details for the lighting and the
Right, I just didn't want to do that now,
specifications
if
for
you
the.
had to shift anything and then
Okay,
and make it a domino effect. And they'd also, as far as landscaping, there's existing trees along here. Some are gonna come out in this area. On here, if you look at the grading, this is a pretty steep slope here.
yeah,
So this parking lot's gonna be hidden from the neighbors because it's gonna be lower than the slope. Plus there's existing woods here. There's existing woods here. There's a clump of trees here. So if the waiving of at least some of the parking tree requirements and
Okay.
green space.
so
to
what's,
try
so
to
the
keep it
existing that's
benefit.
remaining should be, is adequate to screen the neighbors from the,
Well, from Brown Road, you need screening in the front.
You're gonna
Right.
show all that anyway, right? For the next submission?
The existing trees?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the existing tree line's on here. I can make it darker.
okay.
And,
okay.
and then this is also several feet down.
Right, it drops.
It drops to it's on the Brady's line, which is the next street. I think it's like 10 feet, 10
Okay.
feet down. So the poles, lighting poles will be up, but they'll be up almost.
But
ground
it'd be
level.
limited to what they're gonna see, from because of the
Because
change
of
in
that,
grade.
Instead of the lights being from the neighboring property, which is a couple hundred feet away, it's not gonna be a light up here shining down and on top of them.
Okay,
So that's, and I realize there's no decisions tonight, but that's just
right.
what we're gonna be, in my letter, I had the waivers because I wanted to get them up front to start discussions.
Okay, I mean, obviously, you have to work on the, I guess on the drainage issues also, there's nothing on this plan, just showing the drainage and
It's
how you're
on
gonna
the
manage the
next plan.
stormwater,
It's
right?
on the next plan, it's on the grading plan.
Is it on the back?
Yeah.
Okay,
I can
Well, we'll
flip the
need
page.
something just to show, I don't know where this area drains to, but we'll need something as far as a pre and post.
Okay,
No, you're not, you're not,
we're under an acre,
you're under an acre.
but I can do it pre-post, that's not a problem.
And then what about the driveway for the existing house? Can that driveway be tied slide into the internal circulation?
It's steep going down through here, so it would be hard to get it.
I don't know how the board feels, I mean, is it something that you want them to at least like look at, to try to get rid of?
Yeah, I mean, is there a way that they can move the drive, to get the driveway into the new entrance?
It has to be 75 feet.
So limit the,
No, into the internal.
This, to do this
the
here.
existing
Let me
one
just-
here,
Yeah,
right?
something to get
Let
in.
me flip the page. I mean, they're willing to do it, but it's,
I mean, now that it's all gonna be one lot and one use.
you can
Right.
see it's steep across here.
Yeah.
Can you bring it down from the bottom up?
Here. It's steep, I can look at doing
I
it.
mean, why don't you look at it? I mean,
I'll
if
look
you
at
can-
it.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you
I was playing with it before, but I can look at it again.
That's where the
Yeah.
driveway used to be a long time ago.
Yeah.
Used to
I mean,
go
if it
down this
doesn't
way.
work, it doesn't
didn't go
work.
out at all.
I mean, I'll
It
look
didn't
at
always
again,
come-
but I was
went
looking
down?
at it
No,
before
like,
'cause I
yeah,
thought
like
it would make
30
sense.
years ago, 40 years ago.
Okay.
But it was steep, but I can look at it again.
If you look at it, I mean, that would be something for the, for the full submittal. That's, all right. It's okay. Yeah, if they can incorporate that in, because like Pete's saying, it's now, the last time we were here was to consolidate everything into one lot.
Yeah.
It really should be one, one entrance and exit from the property.
Yeah, that I understand. I'll just see if I can re-engineer it and get it to.
That's what she's
Okay.
gonna look at.
All right. Any board members have any questions? Any comments that might be helpful for their full submittal? No? Okay.
He's gonna look into that.
Yes. Okay, all right.
I think we're good.
Planner, engineer, have any?
No, not what we
I think we
did.
touched on everything that,
What about the existing septic system for the house? You're gonna show that to be abandoned or?
Yes, I mean, that was part of the previous one, but it's gonna.
yeah, there was,
It's gonna be built in and abandoned in place. Did I may have even. Put a note? No, I didn't write the note on
All right, I mean,
it. Because it was
that's-
kind of part of the lot consolidation.
yeah. Yeah, that was, originally just for the sewer, more or less, to get
Right.
sewer for the,
And as Pete said, that the constructed secret pit has to be filled in with sand and
Yeah.
that, or else it's a safety problem. So I agree with Pete that that needs to be done. I'll add a note on this plan as well, in case for some reason it gets missed
okay.
when the pipe gets added.
Okay, so I guess, I guess at this point, it's just waiting for, for a full submittal. And you're looking for a waiver for what, for the trees, for showing the trees?
Yes, and, yeah, for the landscaping that's normally needed for a parking lot.
I mean, I don't think we can act on it. Can we act on something without a full
Well, no, I'm not asking
application?
for it tonight. I mean,
No.
I put it in the letter so you can start thinking about it. I know you can't act on it
Why
today.
don't we
Yeah.
actually look at the application first?
Yeah, I think we feel, when we get the application in, we'll look at it and then go from there.
I wasn't looking for your.
I think I need to go back out and just take a look, just screening myself personally. I don't remember, I know there is some elevation changes there. I just want to
Mhm.
physically put my eye on it, but we will bring it up when you resubmit.
Yes.
And we'll bring it up at a future meeting to go ahead and we'll address it at that point.
Okay, and I know this next submission deadline, I think is December 1st for the January meeting. And could we get a public hearing set for the January meeting?
For something that you haven't.
Something that we haven't even reviewed yet. It's kind of tough to jump the,
You have no application.
the conceptual plans are good, except, it just brings somebody in front of the board just to kind of discuss the project. We don't have a full review that's been done by the planner or the engineer yet, so we don't have their comments.
Okay.
I actually, they didn't even receive these, I don't believe, directly.
Tonight.
Right, you just got them tonight, yeah, so they weren't, yeah, so they've only had their eyes on it probably for about 10 minutes today. So I think what we need to do is get the submittal, the full submittal in. It'll be brought up at the, when we have it on the next agenda, we can go from there. Hopefully, everything is complete at that point, and maybe we can move through and schedule the public hearing at that point.
Yeah, it's not a problem, I just have to ask.
I know, you're just asking, it's okay. All right.
Okay. And then, this is a separate thing, and I kind of heard you discussing, trying to get the sewer district.
Yes.
I know this isn't really the right, because that's a town
Yeah.
board thing, but I'm
No, the
not sure
only-
where it stands at.
So we went over the map planning report. We have to make some amendments because it's now becoming one lot. So all the benefit, so I've never seen one where you combine two lots in this case. So we have to recalculate the benefit assessment for the new one. We're gonna add, basically, two benefit assessments get added together. And so it's a little strange. So,
Yeah, my reason for asking is they're hoping they could get it in before the town froze.
so, okay,
So that's just why.
okay.
But I understand that that's the other side.
Okay, all right, so we'll see you
Thank you.
at the future meeting. Thank you. All right, so we need to go back on the agenda. We're gonna go back to the Old Hopewell Commons subdivision. I guess we can go back and review yeah, if you guys wanna go through to make sure that all those notes are on there before we vote.
Those were the notes that I wanted, so.
Yeah, my notes on here, and, the easements on here, so the health department signed it. Yeah. How many paper copies do the town normally get?
So when they do file it, we'll get 2 certified copies and then 6 copies.
Seven.
of the-
Seven.
No, it's a 7.
Just wondering the same thing.
What's the 7?
For the fire prevention?
I can change this.
And Tony and I talked earlier.
Okay.
After this meeting, he's gonna go out and move, the barricades so that no one can make a right turn into, the driveway that's there now for Old Hopewell Commons. So he's
Okay.
gonna move some barrels there.
Yep,
And then, the lights, I believe that they have the lights for the barricades.
so it'll be on tomorrow morning?
They're gonna be
Okay.
on, they'll put those on in the morning.
Okay. All right, so hopefully that will lessen some of the confusion
I mean,
out
it
there.
should- Well, I don't know when it's gonna be opened up, but hopefully, maybe the end of this week,
They-
or early next week.
Okay.
Were they working today?
They put the barricades up today,
Okay,
the cement ones, and around 3 o'clock, and tomorrow they're gonna start.
Okay.
And they're
David
hoping
almost crashed into him and
Tuesday,
killed himself
Wednesday,
today, so
Thursday, and they should be
We need
finished.
lights.
okay.
Okay. All right, so what's been submitted, what's been brought to the meeting tonight is satisfactory for us to vote on a resolution?
I have a question. Sergeant Palmetier Way, it's closed off to the public, right?
They can
Just that
access.
little piece right in front of the park.
Okay, well, there's a residential street, Card Street, I believe. What is there?
Yeah,
what is
Curry Road.
Curry Road. What is the protocol for egress and entrance?
They have access off of Sergeant Palmetier Way. It's still open off of Middle Bush Road. Tony, I believe, at hand, delivered
Yes.
notices to everyone.
Every single house.
Okay.
Every single house out there, advising them of, the situation, how long it was, gonna be closed for, and how they could get in and out using, Sergeant Palmetier Way out to, Middle Bush Road.
And every business on
And-
Sergeant Palmer.
and all the
From Middle
businesses.
Bush to Old Hopewell.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so at this point in time, we need a motion to approve the
I'll make
two-lot
that
subdivision as been written. Okay, motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so motion carries. All right. Okay. All right, seeing there's no other business on the agenda, well, yeah, people, I'd like to ask, are you here for any specific reason this evening?
No, not really.
I kind of see you sitting here, and I didn't know if there was something, maybe we missed something tonight?
This is our second week trying to get into the real estate business.
Okay,
And we've been training, and part of the training is to come over here and see how this work, how the planning board work.
okay,
Because maybe in the future, we might be dealing with it.
okay, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
I just, I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I wasn't sure myself whether or not you were here, and we might have missed something this evening. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so one last item we have to discuss this evening is the schedule of meetings, as prepared by our secretary. Obviously, it's, for the most part, we're going to be on Monday nights. The only exception being, I see 2 federal holidays that are on here, which would be Labor Day and Martin Luther King Day. Those meetings will be moved to a Wednesday, so if everybody just wants to stay with the first and third Mondays, we need to approve the schedule.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the schedule.
I'd second that.
Okay, motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the motion carries. All right, so last items, just need a motion to adjourn. Unless there's any discussion that needs to take place otherwise.
Move we adjourn.
I'll second
Well,
that.
Marcos. Seconded by Paul? Okay. All right, so we are adjourned.